Imagine this. You're sitting on a porch, a cup of tea warming your hands, thinking about how much life you've lived. Kids grown, career chapters closing. The house feels quiet. Then it hits you. You miss having someone to share the little things with. Not the big dramatic romance from your 20s. Just companionship. Someone who cares when you say, "Drive safe." Someone who remembers how you take your coffee. Love after 50 is not about butterflies. It's about peace, comfort, friendship. So where do you find that kind of connection today? Let's walk through 5 places where real relationships may begin for couples and individuals over 50. These are not dating app-only answers. These are real-life, heart-level places where companionship grows naturally. When life slows down after 50, there's a quiet shift. You start thinking more about what brings you joy rather than what brings you status. Local community classes and activities become a doorway to that joy. And what most people don't realize is that these spaces are also one of the most natural places to meet someone who's on a similar path. Not because you're there to look for companionship, but because you show up with an open heart. Picture walking into a community art class. The room smells faintly of paint, and everyone is focused on their canvas, laughing about how their apple still life looks more like a potato. You make eye contact with someone who's trying to clean a paintbrush and accidentally splatters color onto their shirt. You both laugh and share the moment. It's simple, and here's the beauty of it. Neither of you is pretending to be someone else. Activities have a funny way of stripping away awkward conversation. In a dance class, there's the shared struggle of remembering which foot to move first. In a cooking class, it's that moment when the instructor asks you to taste your dish and you both realize you added too much salt. These little moments build something that dating apps can't replicate. They allow familiarity before anything romantic is even considered. You're not trying to impress each other. You're just living in the moment. Many people over 50 spent years putting others first, raising families, building careers, keeping a household running. Community classes are the opposite of obligation. They're a form of self-giving. They allow you to rediscover what excites you. Music, wellness, creativity, curiosity. Someone who joins gardening club or a photography walk isn't doing it because they're bored. They show up because they still care about growing and learning. That mindset alone says a lot about a person. There's also something grounding about being surrounded by people who are choosing to be present. When you take a pottery class or learn ballroom dancing, physical presence matters. You're not glued to a screen scrolling through profiles. You're in a room filled with real people, with real expressions, with real energy. The conversations happen naturally. Not the typical questions like, "What do you do for work?" But deeper things like, "What inspired you to try this class?" Or, "How did you spend your weekend?" These environments encourage companionship because they build a foundation of shared enjoyment. You connect through laughter, small mistakes, and progress. You start to notice the same faces each week. Someone saves a seat for you. Someone cheers for your small wins. The comfort builds slowly, like warmth spreading through a room. Love over 50 doesn't need grand gestures. It often begins with small, ordinary moments, like holding a paintbrush, tasting a new recipe, or swaying slightly offbeat while learning a dance step. In those spaces, companionship doesn't feel forced. It simply unfolds. There's something different about meeting people while helping others. When you volunteer, you're not trying to impress anyone. You're not thinking about first dates or expectations. You're just showing up to do something meaningful. And when two people are working side by side toward a shared purpose, conversations feel natural, effortless, even comforting. Volunteering puts everyone on equal ground. No one cares what kind of car you drive or what your resume looks like. What matters is that you showed up. At a community kitchen, two people chopping vegetables together fall into rhythm. Someone laughs because their onion made them cry so much they can barely see the cutting board. Another person offers a tissue and a joke. That's connection without any scripts. When you work at a thrift shop donation center, you might meet someone sorting through clothes and telling stories about the people who will benefit from them. In an animal shelter, you're washing blankets or walking a dog that tries to drag you in every direction. These moments show who someone truly is. You see patience, kindness, humor. You don't need to ask someone if compassion matters to them. You see it in action. Volunteering also slows conversations down. Instead of the usual quick small talk, you end up sharing pieces of your life. Someone might mention that they started volunteering because they lost a spouse and wanted to feel needed again. Another person might talk about being retired and searching for purpose beyond routine. Vulnerability comes easier when the environment feels safe. People over 50 often think companionship will come through a direct search. But often, it appears as a side effect of living a life that feels bigger than yourself. When you're serving meals to families in need or packing holiday gifts for children, your attention shifts outward. That openness makes you more approachable, and it attracts the right kind of people. What stands out most is that volunteering exposes character. You see how someone reacts under stress, how they treat strangers, whether they show gratitude. You learn far more in those small moments than you would in several hours of coffee date conversation. It's also emotionally fulfilling. You go home tired in the best way, with a feeling that you contributed to the world. If someone shares that feeling with you, companionship grows from something real rather than convenience or loneliness. Some connections start with a romantic spark. Others begin with a shared pair of gardening gloves at a community cleanup or passing out water at a charity marathon. When you volunteer, you don't have to chase love. You're already living the qualities that make love find you. Travel feels different after 50. It's not about checking off a list or racing through landmarks. It's about savoring moments. Sitting by a river in a new city with a warm drink in your hands. Watching a sunrise from a quiet balcony. Taking pictures not to post online, but because the moment feels worth remembering. When you join a travel group designed for seniors or empty nesters, you step into an environment where everyone understands this pace. No rushing, no pressure, just people who want to enjoy life. These group trips create opportunities for connection without forcing it. You might meet someone while waiting for the hotel elevator, both of you laughing about how the tour guide's instructions made no sense. Or during a bus ride between destinations, someone hands you a snack and asks where you're from. The conversation starts because the environment encourages it. Everyone is relaxed, open, and curious. Traveling with people in the same stage of life makes a difference. You don't have to explain why your knees need a break on long walks, or why you prefer a calm evening over loud nightlife. The pace fits you, and because you're all experiencing something new together, there's always something to talk about. You share reactions to a beautiful landscape or exchange stories from your younger years. Walls drop naturally. The connection builds without effort. One of the most unexpected parts of travel groups is how quickly friendships form. When you're exploring a new place, you're more present. You notice details. You laugh more easily. You're not distracted by routine. And companionship often grows in the in-between moments. Sitting at a cafe, waiting in line for a museum ticket, strolling through a local market. Someone asks if you've ever tried a pastry from that little bakery. You try it together. Then you walk away sharing crumbs and a memory. There's also something freeing about being away from home. You don't carry the same emotional weight. People are more willing to open up. They share stories about what brought them to this stage of life. Retirement, loss, divorce, or simply wanting a new chapter. You learn about someone's character without feeling like you're interrogating each other. It's companionship without pressure. Whether it's a European river cruise, a national park bus tour, or a short weekend getaway within your own country, travel groups offer what many people over 50 quietly crave: presence, shared experiences, and moments of genuine connection. If companionship happens along the way, it doesn't feel forced. It feels like the natural result of two people choosing to enjoy life at the same pace. Faith communities have a way of slowing life down, even when everything else feels busy or uncertain. When you walk into a place of worship or a small group gathering, you're stepping into a space shaped by connection, reflection, and shared values. There's no performance, no pressure to impress. People greet you with eye contact, a handshake, or a simple, "How are you doing today?" And for someone over 50, especially if life has shifted due to retirement, divorce, or loss, that kind of welcome can feel like a soft landing. Many faith communities offer weekly or monthly gatherings that go beyond worship: coffee mornings, discussion circles, Book clubs, community dinners, walking groups, even choir rehearsals. These aren't designed for dating. They exist to help people feel seen and supported. That's exactly why companionship often grows there. You meet someone while folding programs or pouring coffee for visitors, and the conversation flows because you're participating in something that matters to both of you. In a small group setting, the scale changes. It's not a large crowd where you slip in and slip out unnoticed. You sit in a circle, share a bit of your week, listen to others, laugh about everyday challenges, and sometimes talk about deeper things. Regrets, healing, gratitude. When people open up emotionally, connection becomes natural. You learn who someone is by how they speak about their family, how they listen when others need support, how they show kindness without expecting anything in return. For many over 50, faith communities offer a rhythm they may have been missing. After years of routines driven by career and family responsibilities, these gatherings become small anchors, something to look forward to, a reason to get dressed, leave the house, and engage with the world. Companionship begins with simple consistency. You see the same faces each week. Someone remembers your name. Someone asks how your appointment went or how your grandchild's recital turned out. Before you know it, familiarity becomes comfort. There's also a shared sense of purpose. Whether it's organizing donations, cooking for a community meal, or singing in the choir, you're contributing alongside others. No one is trying to sell themselves or impress anyone. You're just serving together. It's in the quiet moments, passing out plates, picking up chairs after an event, laughing when the choir hits the wrong note, where true connection forms. Meeting someone through faith or community isn't about replacing something missing. It's about finding someone who values similar things: compassion, consistency, family, gratitude. When companionship grows in that environment, it feels steady, feels safe, and most importantly, it feels real. Many people assume online connection only happens on dating apps, but interest-based online communities are often where real companionship begins. These spaces aren't built around pressure or expectations. They grow from shared curiosity, hobbies, and everyday conversations. Instead of awkward introductions or trying to sell yourself, you show up as who you are, talking about what you enjoy. Picture joining a Facebook group for gardening. Someone posts a photo of their roses and asks why the leaves are turning yellow. You jump in with advice because you've dealt with the same issue. A few hours later, the same person replies, saying your suggestion helped. Over time, you exchange tips and joke about how plants can be more demanding than people. It starts as a small interaction, but it shifts into regular conversation. You begin looking forward to seeing their name pop up. That familiarity grows gently, without expectations. Or imagine joining an online photography community. Members post pictures of sunsets, family road trips, interesting architecture. You upload a photo you took during a weekend getaway. Someone comments that they felt calm just looking at it. They ask where it was taken, and a conversation begins. You share stories behind your pictures. They share theirs. It's not forced. It's not rushed. It's two people connecting through appreciation for the same thing. These communities are full of people who are learning, exploring, or rediscovering themselves. Many are over 50. Many are widowed, divorced, or starting fresh. They aren't there to meet someone romantically. They're there to belong. And when your conversations start from a shared hobby instead of, "So, what are you looking for in a partner?" the connection feels effortless. Interest-based platforms give companionship time to grow. You exchange ideas and encourage each other. You get to know someone's personality by how they respond, what they find funny, how they speak to others. You learn their values before you ever learn their relationship history. There is comfort in that slow unfolding. There is also freedom. You can show up from anywhere. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to drive. Maybe you're chatting from a cozy chair with your tea beside you. Maybe they're messaging from a quiet porch on the other side of the world. Technology makes it possible to meet people you would never cross paths with in your hometown. Companionship can begin with a laugh in the comment section of a travel forum. It can begin when someone likes your book recommendation. It can begin when you realize a stranger online remembers your name, your story, and your interests. Connection doesn't always need a romantic label. Sometimes it just needs two people who enjoy showing up in the same space for the same reason. Love over 50 is not about searching. It's about opening the door again. Someone out there is looking for what you're looking for: peace, kindness, companionship. You don't need to chase love. Just place yourself where connection can grow. If you're comfortable, share in the comments. Where do you think companionship starts at this stage of life? Your story may help someone else feel less alone. And if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing. More videos are coming to help you build stronger relationships, deeper family bonds, and a happier retirement. You deserve companionship that feels like home.